Woman publicly stripped, beaten to a gruesome death in front of onlookers over sexual jealousy. 3 murders, 2 women and a man, at different ends of the country, tell us about a society where many lives are destroyed by either drugs or sometimes uncontrollable emotions, such as jealousy, that emerge from sexual relationships. On Sunday last, a Thai woman was stripped naked and beaten to death in a gruesome fashion in front of horrified onlookers in the Phra Phrom area of Nakhon Si Thammarat. Her attackers included her love rival for a man, assisted by her 2 children. It is one of a spate of murders in Thailand in the last week driven by sexual jealousy and drugs. The latest was a 29-year-old woman murdered by her husband, haunted by crystal methamphetamine and jealousy, on Monday night in Kalasin province. Scenes from 3 crimes in the last week, which saw 1 man and 2 women murdered in attacks driven by sexual jealousy in Thailand. On Tuesday, Kalasin police in Kalasin province found the body of 29-year-old Nakhon Thong murdered by her drug-crazed husband on Monday night, while on Sunday, a woman was stripped and beaten to death in public in Nakhon Si Thammarat, Inset Right, while police arrested a 70-year-old man in Udon Thani last week for murdering his son-in-law, Inset Left, who had seduced the older man's wife. Police in the northern Thai province of Kalasin have arrested a drug addict for the murder of his wife on Monday night last, the 21st of March. A team of investigating police officers from Kalasin police station travelled to the village of Bunghai on Tuesday evening after being called to the location by villagers who had earlier discovered the body of a 29-year-old woman in a pond near the village at the end of some rice fields. Husband of the victim, Mr. Nakhon Thong, told neighbors he had killed his wife on Tuesday. They disbelieved him at first due to his condition. The woman has been identified as Nakhon Thong. Neighbors had been alerted to look there by the victim's husband, named as Mr. Nakhon Thong, who told them on Tuesday he had murdered his wife and left her body at the pond. At first, the neighbors in the village did not believe the man, as he was well known to be a chronic drug addict suffering from hallucinations and fits of violence from his crystal methamphetamine habit. Drugs had turned the man mad. The locals told police that the man quarreled violently every night with his wife, as he did also on Monday night, but they took little notice of it. Drugs had made the woman's husband uncontrollable. He was regularly driven to fits of madness with anger and also jealousy over his wife's other relationships, as her husband's life was gradually taken over by drugs. Body found later at a pond near rice fields, they told officers investigating the case, including Police Lieutenant Colonel Wacharan Mirio and the Deputy Provincial Police Chief, Major Somnat Mikun, who were at the scene, that it was only afterwards they checked the pond, as they had not seen the 29-year-old woman in person. There, they found her body wrapped in a sarong or a farthang with a red blouse. She had been partly dumped into the pond with tires and other debris thrown over her. Her hands were bound with electrical wire. 13 wounds to the neck after the woman was killed in the couple's bedroom on Monday night by her spouse. Investigating police officers who examined the body soon discovered that the head and neck areas had been the subject of vicious wounds, 13 in all, from a knife. Police later retrieved a bloodstained machete from the home of Mr. Montri, which he shared with his wife. Officers visited the home after finding the body and inside found bloodstains in the couple's bedroom, where it is believed the young woman was slain by her husband. The main suspect admitted to police, on the spot, that he was responsible for killing his wife. He was arrested by officers who are still working on the case and is to be charged and prosecuted for murder. Police in Nakhon Si Thammarat called in after a brutal killing that took place in public on Sunday last. On Tuesday, police in southern Nakhon Si Thammarat were called in to deal with another crime driven by sexual jealousy after a 39-year-old woman was found badly injured and naked after being assaulted by a love rival and 2 of her children in the Phra Phrom area of the province. It is reported that video footage and photos of the shocking incident, which took place last Sunday, were uploaded online, causing shock and revulsion at the nature of the woman's death. Victim attacked by love rival assisted by her son and daughter in a vicious assault recorded by onlookers. The victim has been identified as Ms. Jeroen Nitsampoon, and her main assailant was Upasuk Thong, who was assisted by her son and daughter. The 3 attackers swooped on the victim after she had been dropped back to the area by a man thought to have been the boyfriend of Ms. Upa. The motive for the attack is understood to be sexual jealousy and revenge. Woman stripped, sexually mutilated with a stick in public. The 3 fully stripped the 39-year-old woman and used a wooden implement to dig violently into the genitalia and other parts of her body, causing serious injury. The three were urged by bystanders to cease the attack but failed to do so. After being rescued and taken to hospital, Ms. Giroan succumbed to her wounds within 48 hours. 21-year-old daughter said her mother was having an affair and had just been dropped off by her lover. The victim's 21-year-old daughter could only confirm that her mother had been having an affair recently with a man who had just dropped her off after the pair had been together. Police in Nakhon Si Thammarat are now hunting down Ms. Yupa and her two children, and they will likely face murder charges for the shocking and violent crime carried out in public. 70-year-old man murdered his son-in-law. In the meantime, police officers in Nakhon Si Udon Thani have confirmed that a 70-year-old man has been charged with the premeditated murder of his son-in-law in the Banhua Ikai area of Udon Thani on the 16th of March last. The man, named as Mr. Kad from the Buntharak district of Ubun Thani, took a loaded shotgun to the home of his son-in-law in Udon Thani and shot him in his bed at close range, killing him instantly. The victim was found in his own blood lying on his side in the bed, dressed only with a towel around his waist. Older man told police his son-in-law had seduced his wife, causing her to leave him for the younger man. He was later arrested by Nakhon police, who charged him with the killing as well as firearms offences. He is understood to have shot his 48-year-old son-in-law, named only as Mr. Prathwang, as the younger man had begun an affair with the older man's wife, his own wife's mother. The older man's wife had left him to go and live with her son-in-law. Mr. Kad admitted the crime when police came to arrest him. He told officers that the younger man's actions had shamed and insulted him, leaving Mr. Kad with no choice but to take the younger man's life to restore some of his dignity.